All right, so today I'm going to be talking about contact and cooperation on opposing political ideologies. My name is Matthew Denhay. For the outline today, we'll be talking about the purpose, hypothesis, definition, prior research, method/procedure, and the mediational model. So the purpose of the study will be to reduce tensions between conflicting political ideologies by inducing contact between members over an extended period of time. And then second, group members will have a common goal and objective, ideally bringing them together as human beings and not ideologues. So, rising political tensions. There's been an increase in conflict and gridlock since the 2016 election. There's always been gridlock, but it seems to be getting worse by the day. As the Scientific American states, 86% of Americans are seeing strong conflicts between the Republicans and Democrats. As you can see in the background, in opposition to the Green New Deal, Senator Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah, was proposing rebuttal against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's New Green Deal with, as you can see, a picture of Ronald Reagan riding, as you can tell, a raptor with the shredded American flag in the background, with a machine gun in his hand and RPG on his back. So ideology, what is it? Traditionally, ideology has been considered to be a broad worldview represented by a set of issue positions that can be consistent with each other to varying degrees. And this consistency generally has been understood to form along one dimension: liberal to conservative, left to right, or pro-government to anti-government, as stated by Converse in 1964. So contact and cooperation, what is it? So the literal definitions: contact, the act or state of touching or meeting as of two things or people. And cooperation, the act or instance of working or acting together for a common purpose or benefit, joint action. And the psychological definition, as stated by Allport in 1954, would be two parties coming together, imagined or direct contact, leading to higher cooperation, less implicit bias, and higher positive feelings. So my hypothesis, what is it? So increased contact over time will result in more cohesion and a higher likelihood to socialize more than necessary. After work activities may be suggested. After everything is said and done, the implicit bias and negative feelings will be reduced. So for the prior research. So Christ et al. 2010, this first study, they said out of 1,024 Eastern and Western German students, they found higher levels of contact, the more positive the attitude was reported, and direct contact friendships decreased prejudicial thoughts. So for this, East Germans and West Germans, the higher contact overall, the less prejudice reported. Also, there are higher reports of positive attitudes with direct intergroup contact. And for the second study, the Pagano 2012 study, they found that even imagined intergroup contact can have positive results. But the post hoc for this test indicated that compared to control groups, imagined intergroup contact resulted in much higher positive attitudes towards the outgroup. And for the prior research continued, for the Mason et al. 2018 study, they found that liberals and conservatives are increasingly unwilling to live around each other. And according to the SSI data, virtually every person who is self-identified, either as conservative or liberal, reports some degree of social preference for the ideological in-group. So this is known as effective polarization, something to which, if not reduced over a long period of time, can lead to long-term consequences. And for the Shapisi 2019 study, left or right side members expressed stronger positive emotions towards the in-group. And that's left-wing participants were found to express more positive emotions to stimuli categorized as in-group, and more negative emotions to stimuli categorized as the out-group, compared to the right, although both sides tended to show this behavior, nonetheless. Prior research part 3. So for the Vazzali et al. 2015 study, they found that direct intercontact heterogeneous groups had fewer negative stereotypes than intercontact homogeneous groups of Italian school children. The imagined contact groups garnered similar results, but the direct contact still showed exceedingly positive results. And for the Jacobi-Senghor 2018 study, they found that implicit bias negatively correlates when white participants saw a white person comfortably interacting with a black participant. The contact and cooperation of a white participant getting along comfortably with a black Confederate largely decreased implicit bias with a white viewer. And for the last part, the Merrill's 2015 study found that with 1,000 school children, 13 to 14-year-olds had the most significant correlation between contact quality and bias. And for the Futurity 2019 study, the MU assistant professor Michael Kearney found that up through the 2016 election, Democrats followed more Democrats, Republicans followed more Republicans, moderates stayed the same. Each side was left or right was getting louder while moderates stayed the same and they were just as quiet. And for the prior 2007 study, they found that the first world is becoming a high choice media environment. We are increasingly in control of what we're able to consume, for better or for worse. And most alarmingly, and lastly, the Yang 2015 study found that 74.8% of 460 respondents have experienced disagreement on social media. But worse yet is that 20% of them have found that this disagreement led to them blocking or unfriending someone on social media. So for the overview of this proposed research study, the coding, tracking, and analyzing the interactions and behaviors between self-identified conservatives and liberals within a six-week litter cleanup project. And also the class will be 6 weeks as well about community planning. Negative or positive feelings, an IAT test, and agent recording number interactions will also be taking place. The participants first will be taking IAT tests of political bias. Then we'll collect either 200 either male or female, 18 to 55-year-old, liberal or conservative participants. So for the procedure, the signups will be taking place in Speaker Circle on Mizzou campus. They'll be randomly assigned to either a 6-week course for litter pickup or a 6-week class, community planning, and there'll be a 3-hour exercise every Saturday. For the pretest, it'll be demographic data questionnaire and a psychological assessment. And for the post-test, it'll be the same thing. It'll be demographic data questionnaire and a psychological assessment as well. So here's the mediation model. In the experimental group will be Republicans and Democrats in a 6-week litter cleanup, and the control will be Republicans and Democrats taking class on community planning. So this either condition, either group, the control or experiment, should decrease intergroup anger and decrease intergroup anxiety, while this decrease should increase the level of positive feelings, which would be the outcome. Additionally, the amount of media consumption will lower the amount of positive feelings reported.